Hey, welcome. All my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, feeling good, doing what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. So, yeah, so I'm excited. So, let's get this party started. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storyteller. Story with a message. Message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinkers mission. And yeah, I'm on it. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission as the master teacher of my philosophical concepts, right thinker philosophy. If you want to be a right thinker, your job is to learn it, become master yourself, aka know thyself. Let's go. I'm ready to teach. Knowing thyself is the question I ask all the time before I get started. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I love them guys. I'm here to do just that. I got you. Stay tuned. That's why I do what I do. This is all for you. Now, a person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can wake to them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Today, I'm taking it to the book. I got a good one for you today. Speaking of serpent power. Okay? That's where the original concept of the serpent was respected and revered. We call it now Kundalini, okay? But serpent power wasn't a bad guy in the Garden of Eden who tipped them evil, all that. No, different concept. But right now, from the book of Serpent Power, I got a concept that it says, let me ask you a question first of all. Can I give a sermon? The teacher turned preacher. Yeah, you better listen to me good. Why? I got a message for you. Hope you understand it because that's the whole point of it. The question is, where does true happiness come from? Oh, I know what made me happy. I know what I want. I know. Shut up. Sit down and take a listen. I got something good for you. I'm gonna help you out. If you don't know, by the time I finish, you should. Okay, that's my point. Whatever you think you knew before I started telling you what I want to tell you, put them aside and open your ears and taking this, and then you can compare notes at the end. How about that? Or fact check me if you choose. But we're going to talk about where does true happiness come from. When I'm done, you're going to know. How about that? All right. Now, in reality, happiness does not and cannot come from objects that can be what acquired or from activities that are performed. That means happiness ain't there. It can only come from within. Hello. Did you know that? Oh, I know that. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me go on. Now, even actions that seem to be pleasurable in life cannot be what considered as a source of happiness from a philosophical point of view because what all activities are relative. They're done for a reason. This means, watch this, that one activity is pleasurable for one person and painful for another. In competition, we're gonna compete at the same level, but at the end, one of us is gonna be happy because we won. Somebody's gonna be unhappy because they lost. That's just the fact of life. That's what it's all about. But when you do that, you have an end game. The person who wanted to win, you're happy because that's the end game. The person who wanted to win lost, you're depressed. That's how it goes. So happiness don't come from the competition, or the win or loss. It's all about within. I hope you get the concept. I'll try to break that down for you right quick. Where we at? Okay, now watch this. Relative. This means that Okay, okay. This leads to what? The realization that it's not the activity itself that holds the happiness, but what? The individual doer who is what? Performing the action and assigning a value to it, which she or he has learned from what? Society to do what? Assign. We all teach to be what? Competitive. Yeah. That's a society issue. So we do that because that's what we're driven to do. You understand that? So therefore, watch this. If it was learned, and that's where mostly come from, that going out and partying is supposed to be the fun, then that activity would be what pursued as a source of happiness. Thinking, well, everybody else is doing it. I grew up as a kid. All I wanted was a pair of Converse sneakers. 5.99, 6.99, whatever it was at that time. But I couldn't get them. My mother couldn't afford them. I said, well, everybody's wearing Converses. Her answer was, everybody jump off the bridge. You gonna jump? So in life, you get a philosophical concept. If you got good parenting, they can bestow these things on you, and you'll understand early in life. So I don't follow the crowd. That took care of that. So watch this. So now here, action is performed when instead of the source of happiness, we got to understand the activity and winning or losing is not the source of happiness. Here, action is performed in what? The pursuit of what? The fruit of the action. Here you go. In the form of what? Happiness. I'm happy when I win. When I was a hustler, I was happy when I made money. When I turned that drug into money, I was happy. When I was doing, I was happy. But that wasn't happiness. So understand it. Now watch this. Now, a result is desired from the action. Again, you want something, you do something because you want something. However, there are several negative psychological factors which arise that will not allow what? True happiness to manifest. All that money, all that, yeah, didn't amount to nothing but jail time. So I know firsthand about happiness being manifested from their actions. The first is that, watch this, the relentless pursuit of the action renders the mind restless and agitated. Constantly got to be on my grind. I don't sleep. I got to get it. I got to go. I got to go. That's how you live. That's what it does. Now, the second concept is, watch this, is that in the activity, it's not possible, watch this, there will be depression in the mind if the activity is what? Throttled by some outside force. Yeah, police the law locked me up. So my activity was throttled and I'm very depressed. 3 years worth of depression. Long time. Some did longer, but that's the point. If you get the concept, some things you might not want to do. You might want to learn from somebody else's mistake. Watch this. So that means that something or someone prevented you from achieving the object or activity you saw as a source of happiness. My hustle, getting my money. You develop anger toward it and them. Hell yeah. I don't have a friend to this day that's the police. So yeah, I got a problem with them. You want them? Nah, I passed. Why? I've always been a bad guy. Now I'm not, but I had no use for police. Simple. So when I was coming up, that's how it was. A bad guy and the police can't be friends. Why? We do two different things, my man. There's a conflict of interest there. So another concept. But we're talking about happiness. And I thought making that money and driving new all that, yeah. No contraire, my friend. But watch this. Now, if by chance you succeed in achieving the object or activity, you become elated. Yeah. And this will what cause, here we go, greed in the mind. When that happened, all I wanted was what? More. Greed in the mind. You will want more and more of it. Again, it's a natural phenomenon. And if you never reach that level of success or whatever endeavor, trust me, it's intoxicating. Yeah, and it will get you every time. Not most of the time, Not some of the time. If you got the ego driving, it's going to get you every time. Understand that? Watch this. That's why, as the right thing, the first thing you want to do is conquer the ego. When you are not able to get more at any particular time, you will become what? Depressed, or in my case, incarcerated and disappointed. Very much so. Now, under these conditions, a constant dependence on outside activities and worldly objects develops in the mind, which will not allow for what? Peace and contentment. You always chasing that dragon. You got to have it. But guess what? 3 years of sitting back thinking about it, I learned a whole lot. That's my concept. And even though, watch this, it's illogical to pursue activities which what cause pain in your life, people are constantly acting against their own interests as they engage in what? Actions in an effort to gain happiness. Watch this. While in reality, they are enhancing the probability of what? Encountering incarceration, pain later on. Trust me, when you're doing wrong, you get away with it today. Oh, yeah. If you think that you can continue to do that, trust me on that one. I'll leave that one there. But watch this. Now, people often act, here we go, act shortly and regret what they did. No, people often act and watch this shortly regret what they have done. Sometimes, well, hear me, this is me. Sometimes people know, even at the time of their actions, that they are wrong. I knew what I was doing was wrong. He knew what he was doing was wrong. We knew we was wrong. We didn't make no bones about that. So understand that. Yet they are, watch this, unable to stop themselves. One time. Ain't worry about me no more. I came home, I went to UPS. The rest they say is history. But yeah, I played, I paid, and I got out in the discussion. Now watch this. Now, some people are unable to stop themselves. I'm not one of them people. This is because, watch this, when the mind is controlled by the ego, aka desires and expectations, the intellect, Haru, or Isis in this case, the light of reason is clouded and dull. Okay, excuse me, Tahuti. Your reason, your thought process is clouded and dull. But however, watch this. When the mind is controlled by the intellect, which is Tahuti, here we go, then it is not possible to be led astray due to what? Fantasies and illusions of the mind, of the ignorant ones. If you believe something and you follow that nonsense, that's on you. That's your choice. You made it. So you got to live with the consequences even when you don't know. Don't believe ignorance is bliss. No, if you're doing something and not knowing what you're doing, you still got to suffer the consequences. If you do it unknowingly and it's good, you get blessed. So it don't pick and choose. If what you're doing unknowingly is wrong, you got to suffer the consequences. That's what I'm saying. So watch this. When the individual, when you're guided by what? Your intellect, then only right action can be performed. That's right thing of philosophy. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. When you're led by your intellect, which is Tahuti, and you cannot be performed, because only right actions can be performed, watch this, no matter what negative ideas arise in the mind. I ain't forgot how to do that. No, I just choose not to. Why? Because I'm doing the right thing. That's what they mean. When your intellect supersedes your ignorance, then you're good. So sit back and say, I'm going to get me some of that shit, move me some packs and make me some money. That's dumb. Okay, that's just dumb. Okay, but now, such a person cannot be, watch this, a person who led by his intellect, and even when the negative ideas arise, such a person, watch this, cannot be deluded into performing negative actions. You're not going to get me to go against what I know is wrong. Simple as that. That's what that means. When negative actions which lead to what? Future pain and disappointment, sometimes incarceration, are not performed, then unhappiness cannot exist. my fear of doing wrong or getting caught out there, if I don't put myself in that predicament, I got no fear of that. It's no issue. Again, good guys, you don't live in stress and fear what you did catching up with you. That's the difference. Okay? Watch this. Don't stop. Thus, a person who lives what? According to the teachings of what? Non-doership. That's without desire or expectations for the future results of the action. Selfless service. Simple as that. That's what I do. What I'm doing for you. That's selfless service. I get rewarded for that. And for those who don't accept what I do and don't like what I do, they're gonna do it me. I'm doing it for those who do want it. That's what I get blessed for. Watch this. Now, when results of the actions, your future results of action lives, when you live a life of perpetual peace and happiness, living in the present, aka the now, or right living. Thus, true peace and inner fulfillment will never come through what? The pursuit of actions, things, when there is an expectation or a desire for the fruits of that action. If you're doing something with intent for something on the backside, that's devilish intent. That's egoistic. That's that guy who makes the deal. If I do this for you, you got to do something for me. If I do something for you, you don't owe me nothing. Just appreciate what I did for you and use it, and that's my thanks. Simple as that. The belief, watch this, in objects or worldly activities and things as sources of happiness is therefore seen as the state known as, you ready for this? Ignorance. Yeah, if you think this going things gonna make you happy, you're just ignorant. Spiritually, you're really ignorant. You don't know. Okay, watch this. So wherein the individual is caught up in what? The illusions, the fantasies, and the fancy-free notions of the mind. However, when you go by belief and you have superstitious views and ideas, you're going to suffer. You're going to have problems, and they're going to be fettered. Why? Because you're going to bring them on yourself. Ain't nobody doing it but you because of your ignorance. Now, watch this. Happiness and peace can arise when spontaneously, when there is what? An attitude or a detachment and dispassion. Dispassion means take the emotion out. Don't get caught up in how you feel in every situation you deal with. You got to deal with how you feel. Take the emotion out. That's called dispassion. Watch this. Detachment and dispassion toward objects and situations in life. That means don't get caught up again in emotions and a whole bunch of nonsense. If your actions are performed with the idea of, watch this, discovering peace within, aka knowing thyself, discovering yourself based on the understanding of the philosophy, right thinking, which is outlined, and the effect of what the effect of purifying the heart of that individual. Again, the good deeds, the selfless service, the living right, spiritually disciplined, all those things is how you purify the heart, lightening your heart from a bunch of nonsense. The desires and expectations will dwindle, while in the inner fulfillment and awareness of the present moment will increase. Living in the now, getting rewarded, and doing the right things. Now, not projecting, not regretting the now. Watch this. When you do that, there will be a greater and greater discovery of what? Peace. Where? Within, and a discovery of what is truly stable, which is truth. Spiritual truth is stable and what? Changeless within, as opposed to the mind and the outer world, which is constantly what? Changing, which makes it unpredictable. So if you rely on the outside world for your happiness, you're in a world of trouble. But if you find happiness and peace and contentment within yourself, that's self-discovery, that's knowing thyself, and guess what? That's right thinking philosophy mastery. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.